morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr.Atique from Bangladesh and the host of our regular show, Let's Talk. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone in my show. Today, I'm very much delighted to invite a person who is level as India's leading practice management guru and the bestseller author, dentist, personality development management trainer, and public speaker. He has conducted hundreds of seminars and workshops across India. He is an international speaker on practice management and also authorized the bestseller book New Age Dentalpruner. Please welcome Dr. Sujit Pardeshi. Dr. Sujit, we are very happy to have you in our show. I know you are passing busy spell doing regular webinars and video conferences. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Uh, how are you doing, and how do you define this year 2020?
At the outset, my very sincere thanks to you for having me here, and because this is really a time when probably one of the toughest time for the mankind in the history, at least in last 100 years. Okay, and when we all started 2020, so every year always starts with a lot of hopes, and every year always ends with a lot of introspection. So I'm sure everybody started this year with a lot of hopes and thinking that, I have to do this, I have to do that, until a couple of months into 2020, and we all were shocked, we all were devastated, literally, individually and collectively, as a human race, as an economy, as nations, as individuals, as dentists, and things are really, really, way worse than what we had ever thought that it can happen in our entire lifetime. So having said that, always remember, every disaster comes with a lot of learning lessons. And I'm sure we all should take this disaster as a learning lesson in our stride and look forward with a lot of positivity. And understand, talking positive, thinking positive in this time is not easy. However, there is no other option. As an individual, as a dentist, we have only one of the two options. Number one is you keep crying, you keep shouting, and that everything has lost. And the other option is you keep yourself into the positive environment and look forward to the good times which is going to come for sure.
Okay, so today we want to listen some positive vibes from you, and today we will talk about mostly on financial issues, the main issues that young dentists of Bangladesh are facing now. My first question to you, we know certainly we are going to face a lot of financial crisis in our coming days. So most of the young dentists who have just inaugurated their chambers, they are facing some rent due and some salary dues. So how they can recover this financial loss? What is your suggestion?
Yeah, see, it's not that only us individual dentists are suffering financially. Everyone has really gone extremely bad within last couple of months. In India, here we make a joke or humor, like for the first time, my turnover is equal to Maruti Suzuki or Hyundai's turnover, and which is zero for both of us actually. So I understand that it's really tough. So I don't know how many of your audience follow me on my page on Facebook. I have Dr. Sujit Pardeshi official page on Facebook. And what I did in last 2 months during this lockdown is, in order to ensure that, our talk, our inspiration can help few people to remain positive, in this period, what I have done is I did almost one Facebook Live every week. And I remember in the second Facebook Live, that was, I think, towards the end of March, I had said this, that you need to do few assessments in this lockdown. And at that time itself, I said that, people were thinking that this lockdown will be over in 15, 20 days. And I said in that Facebook Live that this is not going to be over within, at least for 1.5, 2 months. And people were shocked. And I got few replies that how can you say that? However, see, we had the best example in front of us about China. So, in order to control the corona, they had to extend the lockdown for 76 days. So naturally, in any country, the lockdown should be somewhere around 2 months, if not more or less. Okay. So at that time, I said that you need to do 5 assessments during this lockdown, and one of those 5 assessments was a financial assessment. So I would like to share that particular part here. So in the financial assessment, every practicing dentist, irrespective of the number of years you are into practice, should actually analyze, take a pen and paper, and how much the money you have, okay, as of now. That is one thing, okay. The second thing you need to do is to write down every single expenditure and liabilities. See, by expenses, I means your fixed overheads in the clinic, okay, as well as your lifestyle expenses. So I'm sure all of you have curtailed lifestyle expenses a lot simply because there is no scope to move outside, so there is no scope to spend money. Okay. So, however, whatever the limited lifestyle expenses we still have, so we have to, write down one, the overheads. Overheads means fixed expenses. It can be the little electricity bill of your clinic. It can be your staff salary, even if you are paying 50% or whatever. So it can be your staff salary. So whatever fixed, it can be your rent. Okay. These are called the overheads. Okay. Or the fixed expenses. The lifestyle expenses, your home expenses, and the third is your liabilities, means EMIs. Okay, if you have taken loans, the EMIs you have to pay. So make a list of all these expenses and liabilities on a monthly basis, and whatever money or savings you have as of now. Okay, now calculate these expenses, consider it at least for 3 months. Okay, so ideally should be considered for 6 months, because the things are not going to be normalized for around 6 months at least, if not more. Okay. And now if suppose you have 100 rupees and your expenses for 6 months are 500 or 400 rupees, now you have to see from where, which person, which bank, or which friend, which relative you can borrow the money without interest, which is an interest free money, if it is possible. And trust me, on the prima facie it looks difficult. However, if you are genuine, if you talk properly, if you present your financial problem, temporary financial problem, genuinely to people, I'm sure your family members, your close relatives and close friends might help, because there is no other way. You can request your landlord to defer your rent. You can request your bank to defer or take the moratorium benefit. I don't know if it is there in Bangladesh. However, it is there in India, that the government has said that you can defer your EMIs for 3 months, and there is a possibility that that will get extended for another 3 months. Okay, so whatever it is, the best way is, instead of getting disturbed, instead of getting depressed, instead of becoming anxious, the simple thing is a small pen and paper. Okay, calculate whatever money you have, calculate whatever expenditures you have, and then think how can you arrange this money. Okay, and trust me, there are ways which I said, and people will help you, because this is the time when a human race as a whole need each other's help. Okay, and those who are considerate, those who are good people, those who are sensible people will definitely help you. And I'm sure all of us have got sensible people around us. So I think this is how you should do it. Anyway, there is no other way. Thank you.
You have just simplified the complicated issues that we are just thinking of. Uh, uh, I think after that pandemic situation goes away, we will not get the percentage of patient that we are having before. So, what would be our plan to get the regular patient or the regular flow that we have as before?
Okay. Now, this is a very good question. Let me tell you. If you follow the practice management principles properly, it will not be very difficult to bring back the practice to normal within next 3 months. Trust me. Okay. I always say dentistry is all about 3M. And it's not about the composite I'm talking. Okay. The 3 M's of dentistry are marketing, management, and professional mastery. Professional mastery is your domain skill. We are dentists, that is our profession, right? Management is your soft skill. That means your communication with the patient, your convincing the patient, your presentation, your management skill, your leadership skill, your team building skill, okay, and your crisis handling skills. All these skills are nothing but soft skills. Okay, so management is soft skill, hard skill, that is domain skill, that is clinical mastery, and marketing. So if we do marketing in the right way, we will be able to restore the practice very easily. Having said that, I want to give a word of caution to every practicing dentist, including myself, okay, that we should not even try to bring back the practice to normal what it was before COVID. And I'll tell you why. There are times in life, and these are very few times, okay? So there are very few times in life when being alive and surviving is the biggest victory. Okay. So I'll tell you what, I'm sure Bangladesh also is, very cricket fan or savvy nation as India, and you all know cricket. Okay. Now let me tell you what, no matter how good batsman you are, okay. However, if there is a lot of green grass on the pitch, if there is a cloudy climate and the ball swinging, into feet and meters away from you, no matter how good batsman you are, there are always chances that you will, there are chances that you will get out more than you will make runs, especially in the most adverse conditions. Now, if you correlate it with our dental practice and patients, the more number of patients you and me see, that means the more number of balls we face, the more are the chances that you and me can get out. That means getting infected with this virus. And I'm telling you, even if you and me do practice in a very conservative mode for the next 3 to 6 months, or maybe the entire 2020, and just survive our expenses and liabilities, and do not make any profit even for the next 6 months. Okay, I might sound a bit negative. It's not negative, it's a very practical suggestion. Okay, instead of going full-fledged for the aggressive practice, my suggestion would be go for a conservative practice. Even if you're one of the best batsmen in the world, but when the pitch is green, when the wind is more, when the sky is cloudy and the ball is swinging away from you, it's always better to be safe than to be sorry. So these are the times to be safe. When you go back to practices, make sure that you are doing practice. I'm not saying do not do practice. Take all the precautions, do practice. At the same time, do not be over aggressive, because there will be chances that you will get caught. And one of the biggest success of 2020 for every human being will be to see the sunrise of the 1st Jan 2021. Remember. Okay, so it's not always the money and the career and the practice which are more important. Sometimes being there on the crease till the situation comes better, till the clouds go away, till the wind comes to normal, and till the pitch becomes dry is more important. I hope you got my point.
Yeah, wow, you have wonderfully described that what to do for a dental entrepreneur and how to regularize our patient in 2021. So what I'm thinking about the doctors who don't have their own practice and who are working in others' practice. Those, I think, they are having a fear of losing their job or not getting their salary in this crisis moment. So how they can recover this loss?
Okay, wonderful. Now, let me tell you, those who do not have their own clinics and are working as a locum somewhere, with some doctor, they should take a deep breath first. And congratulations to you, simply because you have very less number of overheads as compared to somebody who is having his own practice. right? You don't have to look after the clinic's rent. You don't have to look after the staff salary. You don't have to look after the electricity bill. All you have to look after is your lifestyle expenses only. My personal advice, you may or may not like it, but as I said, this is the time when we need each other the most. My personal advice, if the dentist where you are working is, thinking of firing you because he cannot afford your salary, tell your dentist, boss, I am with you in these tough times. Even if you pay me 50% salary for the time being, 25% salary, or 70, whatever the best he can give, or even if you pay me zero salary, I will still be with you, because this is the tough time in our clinic, for our clinic as a whole, and I understand you. Tomorrow, suppose if I was in the same situation, even it would have become difficult for me to pay the staff salary. So this is the time when you need to be for each other. Be with your employer, be with your boss, and they will understand it. When things become normal, I'm sure they will compensate it. Okay? And because anyway, you don't have too many overheads, you don't have probably EMIs, all you need money is for your lifestyle expenses. So your employer, the dentist where you are working, will be more than happy to give you some basic money which will help you to survive in this situation. Be with them, stand for people so that they can stand for you when the situation improves. I think this will really help.
Sir, we have got suggestions for the dental practice owners and the employees, those who are working in a dental clinic. But what about the people who are just academicians or the dental students, those who just looking forward about the time, and those who are just thinking that we are having a year gap for this pandemic? So what would be your suggestion, those who just depend on time?
See, as far as the academicians are also concerned, I'm sure that you also must be getting at least some sort of salary. Okay, so all the academicians are getting some sort of salary. It is just like whether you work for a dental college or an institute or hospital, or you work, at a private dental practice. So you're definitely getting some sort of salary, and maybe apart from home loan, you would not have any big EMIs, if I am right. Okay, so in that case, as I said, you can just defer the EMIs. Okay, and even if this extend for 6 months, 1 year, right? So you can just defer the EMIs for 3 months, 6 months, and I'm sure even your bank will agree to it. See, I'll tell you what, remember one thing. When the problem is of everyone and for everyone, it is not your problem personally. Okay, so whatever happens to everybody is going to happen to you. So you should never be too worried about things when things go wrong for everybody. Like if God forbid, if earthquake happens in any particular area or city. So whatever happens, the destruction happens for everyone. So it's not only that you have suffered, everyone has suffered. So don't take things personally, okay? Don't say, ki, I was progressing, I was doing this, I had this kind of plans, I have that plans, and all of a sudden how the corona came. I'm sure all of us had plans, all of us had dreams. All of us wanted to expand the practice. All of us wanted to go to the world tour, to the vacation which you had planned. Okay, whatever, to start a new practice, to grow the new practice. My practice has just accelerated, and what has happened? Everything has gone down. All of us have this. You are not alone. Don't take things personally. Okay, so it is everybody's problem, and whatever is happening is going to happen with everyone. So be positive on that note. Don't take the problem personally. What you can take personally is how can I act, think, and behave differently so that I'll come out of this crisis maybe faster or in a better way with a good mindset. Okay, so I'm sure for academicians also the situation is more or less same. And if you have too much of time, the best way to utilize that time is to read good books, is to learn good skill. Okay. In this pandemic, in this lockdown, you must read at least one or two good books. You must learn at least one new skill. which will be helpful for you for the rest of your life.
Uh,
And when things turn around, you will be the shining star.
Wonderful. We have got some motivational and some energizing words from you. So it's very
Always.
encouraging for us. And for the last few days, I am watching that most of the junior dentists are becoming frustrated about their career path, and they are encouraging others, and they are also telling others that they will change their career path after that pandemic, and they will not encourage the upcoming students to come in the dentistry. So. Tell some motivational words that they can be motivated to remain in this career.
I tell you what, this is a problem even in India, okay, but not to that greater extent. However, let me tell you, all the youngsters, okay, my young friends, remember this forever, okay? When I said that when it's everybody's problem, it's not your problem, okay? So, apart from dentistry, every business profession in the world, not only in Bangladesh, every business profession is suffering equally. So if you think of changing the career, you may or may not get a very good opportunity in some other vocation. Okay. So it's like it is said that the other side of the shore always looks green. The grass is always greener on the other side. However, when you shift from dentistry to some other vocation, and all of a sudden, probably you will realize that vocation is also in a big mess, in a big trouble, and there is no opportunity there. And even if you get an opportunity, it will take at least 2, 3, 5 years for you to establish in that vocation. So if it is going to take 2, 3, 5 years for you to establish somewhere else, trust me, dentistry is way better. Give 5 years in dentistry and you will be very good established, provided you work on all 3 M's. Okay, this is not the time to run from one profession to other profession. If you are thinking, trust me and take my words, you will realize it after 1 or 2 years. Probably that would have been the biggest mistake you had made. Not because other professions are not having good careers. The problem is others are in the same trouble. It's like when a Titanic is sinking, it doesn't matter whether you're at this end of the Titanic or on this end of the Titanic. Ultimately, you have to go down. So changing the profession in the crisis time is never the right thing. Changing the profession in the right times. If there is one profession or vocation which is flourishing like anything, changing at that time is probably a good sense. However, in the time of crisis, the best thing to do is what you can do best. And once we have completed our graduation or post-graduation, that means we can do dentistry in the best way. There is no other work which we can do better than dentistry. So naturally, you should be in dentistry. Do not make this mistake of changing. Trust me and mark my words. You will regret your decisions 1 year from now. Don't do this now.
Dr. Sujit, what about the second income? Thinking of having a second income source.
Wonderful. Now let me tell you there is actually I have a course where I have a year-long course called Life Excel where I talk 30 hours, 3 days about financial management, wealth creation, passive income. And all my course participants were so thankful to me during this crisis because at that time I told them, that everybody must have a second source of income. I'll tell you guys. Okay. Now, creating a second source of income in such a short time is not very easy at all. So don't even try to do it. Learn the lesson from this pandemic that you need a second source of income. Okay. There are 2 ways of generating second source. One is by investments and other is by learning some additional skill or doing some other business which can grow or run without you. Okay. So a side business or investment. These are only two ways of generating passive income or second source of income. Now, let me tell you, no investment will give you returns tomorrow morning. So that is out of question. At the same time, you'll not be able to start a side business which can give you profits within the next couple of months. It's not easy. Okay, it takes months and years to build a business. So second source of income, very difficult. In India, few dentists are falling into a trap that they have started trading in the stock market. And I said it in one of my Facebook lives. And that is even bad. Because trading itself takes around 10 years to masterize. Okay, to get that mastery, it takes more than a decade actually. So people will actually land up losing more money in trading than the loss in the practice. So at this moment, don't think of the second source of income. I'll tell you, you can plan for a second source of income so that if something like this happens a year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years from now, you will have some passive income. Okay. However, generating passive income in 1 day, 1 week is not easy at all. Okay. So don't, whatever money you have, don't let that money go and get into the losses. Okay. The realization should be, we need to learn financial management and we need to have the second source of income. So this realization, I think, is the learning lesson from this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I know you have a wonderful book about practice management. I would like to request you to give a brief about the book, and for our dentist in from Bangladesh, is there any way to get your book from you or the other dealer from Bangladesh?
Okay, I don't know how many of you know this. I have this bestseller book on dental practice management called New Age Dentalpruner, because I really want every dentist to become dentalpreneur eventually, okay, if not immediately. And the book was written by a Canadian publisher, Black Card Books. It's a bestseller book actually, and benefited lots of thousands of people, practicing dentists in India. I don't know how can I can ship this book to you, all those who are interested, no problem at all. However, the only thing which I'm not sure about is the payment mode. Okay, so I'll probably try to create a link on PayPal or InstaMojo. Okay, and I'll share it with you, and you can share it in the group. So those who are interested can pay on PayPal or InstaMojo, and I think you should get the book. At the same time, I also want to tell one thing, guys. This pandemic also, made me realize something very interesting. I'm conducting different courses on practice management for around 7-8 years now. Okay, and it has really transformed a lot of people's lives. I have around 1,500 to 2,000 participants in this time, and more than 1,000 success stories actually out of this. However, what I have realized in this time is, if I go with the same speed, maybe I'll work for another 15 years, and okay, I'll be able to reach only 5-6,000 people. That was a realization which I had in this pandemic. So I'm actually thinking of going online with few of my staff. Okay, so one of the good thing which I am starting is a newsletter. Okay, and that newsletter will have some very important, very good insight on practice management every month. Then one of my YouTube videos, I don't know if you know this, I have a YouTube channel called Dr. Sujit Pardeshi, and there are a lot of good videos on it. You can just subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Facebook or Insta. Okay, so and it will also have some or my views about the economy or the finances or the stock market. And I had given these views in March and April also, and they were very almost as accurate as anything. However, nobody can claim that you will be accurate all the time. However, I tried my best out of my study in finance to do this. So I'll just share a link of a Google form which you people can submit. Okay, and if I have your mobile number and email ID, I can email you that newsletter free of cost, and it is free for everybody. So as I said, genuinely, I had this realization that I need to reach more and more number of dentists actually. So because the speed with which I am going, although I am doing really good and very happy with the kind of results people get, however, it's hardly few thousand dentists I can reach. The best way to do it is to do something online. So I'm starting a newsletter from June. Okay, so I'll just share a link with you. Okay, Atik. So you can share it with your colleagues there, and if they subscribe to the newsletter, they will get it free of cost every month. Okay, so that is one little gesture from my side.
It was nice to have a resourceful and informative conversation with you, Dr. Sujit. And I think my audience have also enjoyed a lot the session. I would love to request if you have any question regarding our discussion, you can write us in the comment box. And I think Dr. Sujit will answer those questions in his convenient time. Thank you once again to join with me, and please take our gratitude from Bangladesh. And for the audience, you are the heart of my project. And I wish all of you a good health and prosperous life. And thank you for watching us. Stay home, stay safe.
Thank you so much. Okay, take care.